Tough bucket, boy.
What's good, all my hoopers and hoopettes? It's your boy Tone here, and we are back with another episode of Tough Buckets. I have a very special guest here. We just played once. I don't know if you guys can tell. All right, I'm not in my usual studio. Me and Max have been traveling the last 24 hours, 48 hours to get this content for you guys. I hope you get something from it. Today's episode, we got Max Schmarzo?
Yeah.
Max Schmarzo in the house. Everybody clap that.
Yeah. Two Maxes in here.
My guy, Max, man, I appreciate you being on the podcast and having us out here and all that good stuff.
Absolutely, yes. Of course. You flew out here. Of course I'll be on your podcast. I'm not going to say no.
First things first, man. Why Iowa, man? Can y'all see back there? Why are we in Iowa right now? Why have you chose this as your homestead, big dog?
In the winter, it doesn't look as nice. Imagine a nice blue sky, a warm sunset, and that's really pretty. The winter is just gray. It's not really a weather. It's just like bizarre grayness. But I like it.
Yeah.
It's simple. Like, reality is, when I first moved here, I was at a private facility in Denver, head of sports science, and I moved out here to do my own stuff.
Yeah.
And mortgages were low. Cost of living isn't horribly high here, but even at the time it was less. And it was like, well, I have a hedged option, so I can get a house at a cheaper rate, and I can, try and pursue something cool with less risk. If I lived in Denver and did it, then the house would be expensive, which means the mortgage is more, which means my pressure to make money immediately would be higher. And so it's like, well, if I want to pursue what I want to pursue, and I need to have the creative freedom to try and pursue that and not be like, oh, I'm trying to make my dollar today, then I had to take an opportunity like this that's fitting, because we also have family nearby, which is a support system. And I went to college in Iowa, Cedar Rapids, which isn't too far, but that's not necessarily any reason why I moved back here. Yeah. But the complexes are nice. There's like a really bunch of nice facilities and very good basketball here, which I did not know until I moved here. But someone was like, I want to move here. I think this is the right path. Yeah. I had a good social media following at that time. And I knew that you can make money on social media, but you need to make sure you hedge your bets, because one day the algorithm might turn off, or the app might shut down, and I can't go somewhere where I have 1 month of runway when all of a sudden one day everything could be gone. Yeah. And so you have to go somewhere that allows, at least for me, a little more freedom of movement. So I could get jobs here. It wouldn't be too difficult. Yeah. Certain types of jobs in the area are awesome. And I had, opportunities around that. So I was like, okay, maybe I just go here and do something here and there. Yeah. But it gave me freedom.
So speaking on just your background as like you said, sports scientist, most people who's watching right now, not going to know, they're not going to do research. They're not going to research. They're not going to see your name and do research and things. So can you just speak to your qualifications to, for one, be talking about what we're about to be talking today?
Yeah. My qualifications don't really matter, because the reality is there's a lot of people with great qualifications who say a lot of dumb things. And there's a lot of people with no qualifications who say a lot of smart things. I've worked a lot in the area of applied sports science. I mean, so there's like data analytics, which is like number crunching, quantitative analytics, which I'm aware of the applicability of it. I'm not aware of the statistical analyses in terms of the actual, pen to paper math. Yeah. I'm not great at that. But I understand the applied portions. So the systemic approach to human physiology and what that underlying principle of adaptive physiology can eventually lead to basketball. A bunch of fancy words to say how you get better at something. Yeah. So my background stemmed from that. And then I had the firm belief that you can only do so much in the weight room and strength conditioning and stuff, that, being in player development would be a better option to express the full effect of what I could do to help players. Yeah. And then being also like a performance consultant, to where a player has questions in terms of nutrition or, injuries and stuff. I have, the background to understand all that and help guide some players through that process.
Okay, so what I really wanted to know is, when did it become, so we played in college, played Division III. For one, how was that experience? A lot of guys don't get to hear about the Division III experience. How was that for you?
You paid for your jersey, basically. Like, guys could hoop, man. Don't get me wrong. Guys, you're playing at that level.
You got to love the game.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
So, there's 3 layers of D3. Yeah. The first layer is a bunch of guys who didn't want to walk on D1. Mm-hmm. They're like, I don't want to wait 2 years to play. Yeah. So you play guys who you know,
were their hometown heroes type of stuff. They're probably really good in like a smaller town.
You'd get guys who just like, I didn't want to go to a JUCO, they said.
Okay.
And so like they would just go there, and then you're not gonna, at that time you didn't transfer.
Okay.
So like no one would go there
Facts.
and leave. So we had 7-footers in our league. And we had guys, Andre Norris, he's 6'9", grew like 7 inches in college, and so he's like 6'2" to 6'9". Then was like a guard and would score 30 a game. And like our bigs were 6'9", and you know the guards are smaller, but across the board we're 6'3" and 6'4" for our guards. And a couple of guys who played in Spain, and they'd beat an occasional mid-major. But then you have another tier which isn't very good, unfortunately. Nothing against them. It's just like they maybe are local to the school, and the school is small, and it's maybe in an area that doesn't have a ton of attractions, and maybe the school's really good at one specific genre of education, and like that's why they're there, and they just happen to play too. So you play basketball, and you can be, some guys are pretty good at that level. They just don't, with no resources to actually get better. Like there's no coach rebounding for you. You're trying to get on the court between intramural soccer practice. Like you're like, this is ridiculous. But the guys can really hoop still too.
Today's episode is brought to us by ASG Socks, the only socks that I freaking wear every single day, Monday through Sunday, on the court and off the court. If you want to upgrade your sock lifestyle, go ahead and use my code TUF Buckets at their website. I'm gonna put it all in the description below, all that good stuff. Use my code TUF Buckets for buy 2 get 1 free, and anything over $35 is free shipping. Okay, go right now. Go buy the socks. Go buy the socks. Go buy the socks. That play into the lack of like opportunities to get better. That play into the reason why you were not bouncy in college at all.
Not athletic.
Roll the clip. Roll the clip. He was not dunking in college.
No, that's pretty bad.
But that's changed now. So like, is that a part of it since you've become more about using your body as an example?
Yeah, I didn't so that's what enticed me to sports science, was like I had been very frustrated as a college graduate or a senior in college, and I couldn't hang on the rim with 2 hands.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't do it until my senior year in college. And I couldn't do it until I started doing like, I read some article about like depth jumps.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, oh, I'll do these. And like, screw it, I'm going to jump. And then I could do it. I thought that was really cool. I had my old numbers still. And I was strong at that time. Like I'd squat. Not super strong. I'm like 370. And like, that's strong enough to be like, I should be more athletic. And I always wanted to be athletic. I just couldn't do it. And so like I learned a little bit and it made progress. And at that time I had my athletic training degree as well as my strength and conditioning degree. And we kind of got exposed to just kind of that little tail end of strength conditioning application in college. And I used it myself and I got better. And I said, wow, there must be something to this. And then so that got me into kind of the idea of performance and jumping, and then kind of spurred that whole onslaught of human performance.
Yeah. And so moving forward, when did you figure out that you wanted to help other people with that?
I couldn't make money on myself doing it. So someone's got to.
There's a lot of realism with this guy. Right? There's a lot of just thought process. And
I ain't making any money on me doing this. I can make someone else better. And I know I would have paid in college for it, so screw that.
That part.
Yeah, I know exactly what it's worth. And that kind of started as one thing. And there's different layers. Like I have a program. Check out my program online. Sales plug, right? I always tell people to do that. Where it's like geared towards guys who just want to be jacked and athletic.
Yeah.
And then what I do with my athletes is a lot bit different, but again, centered around the common thesis of there is a way to get better. As long as you understand the means and mechanisms, there's a process and a method. Yeah. And so that's kind of how we go about it.
So when did you start getting some real traction in this space? As of right now, we have maybe 450,000 followers and all that good stuff. But like we were talking earlier, most of that came from the strength and conditioning portion of your life first.
Yeah, I had a lot. And then their game used to be really different. We could write verbose blog-like articles or posts where it'd be like, oh, I'd spend 20 minutes writing the caption. Yeah. People were going to read it. Yeah. And it's going to be very much a pseudo blog sphere. This is the transition period, like in the 2000s. Early on was blog heavy. Everyone had a blog. Then it progressed towards Instagram, which is like a micro blog where it'd be like 2 to 3 paragraphs. People would write back then, for you young kids, we'd actually continue the post in the comments. So you'd write the description and it continued, and then your next first comment was like the continued paragraph of it. And like you'd make a post that was sometimes just words describing something. And so it was basically a blog. And in that I was able to share a lot of I was always good at understanding the science, but then bringing it down to a layman's person to be able to explain it. And so I always felt I was like a translator at that time. And I shared a lot of it and people enjoyed it. And naturally it progressed. So people said, hey, could you come and talk at a conference and basically give us a better understanding of how to apply some of these methods that maybe, you know, if you think about how anything gets progressed into a person who is non-involved in an area, it starts with like research. And research is going to start with a very much a micro level of research. So there's going to be like some sort of, well, macro or micro, you're going to look at it mechanistically. Is this causing this? And then does that apply to macro level? And then you're going to have someone have an abstract on that. And then, so that's like a really summary of the research, maybe like a systematic review of the entire body of research. And then they're going to say, these are kind of the best practices. And then only the nerds are going to read that. And then they're going to talk at a conference to the coaches who are kind of nerds and kind of coaches. And they're going to hear that. And they'll be like, well, I can't do all of it. So then I'm going to do my athletes. I'm going to do this. And then eventually it gets passed and passed and passed. So it gets distilled to something. And what happens, it takes a lot of time for that distillation process because it has to go through layers of understanding. Like, I don't necessarily understand combustion engines, but I can drive a car, right? So I can apply it and I'll put gas in my car and know when there's a pinging, it's not a good thing, but I don't know how it works. So I am like a very base level layman of car mechanics. However, there are people who work for car companies who are, you know, I'd imagine engine specialists who are looking at efficiency per stroke of an engine. And so that doesn't do me any good. But when I see better gas mileage, I understand that. And so there's a bridge that gets through. For me as the strength coach / nerd, it was like, I can read this, but then I can tell you exactly, or more so, how I would apply it in a layman's term. And so that was something I originally did a bunch of reading and had like a bunch of 3 books on it and stuff like that and wrote a lot. And then I stopped doing that because Instagram kind of shifted and it became just argumentative and not something I enjoyed. And so I started just sharing my science through my actions. And so you could say, hey, Max, when you tilt your head and shoot a 3, why are you doing that? Well, I could explain to you because I could say it helps your jump shot. Or I could explain to you it's a perturbator of the vestibular system because anytime we tilt our head, we tilt our inner ear canal, which moves the classic little stone on the, remember, you know, the calcium stone on the shit with the legs. So it turns and it moves and it affects your brain. And so it's a gyroscopic response. And in turn, you have to then shoot the basketball and make it. So like you can go to really nerdy, or I can just tell you turn your head to the side and shoot it.
What the fuck just happened right now? God.
I explain to you why you can tilt your head and make a better jump shot.
Hey, yo, what just happened right now?
There's an onolith, is that what's called? An ocula, the little lith? Yeah, I'm looking at you, Max, because you
Max knows. Max probably fucking knows.
Inner ear canal, 3 canals. You have on the stone, that's the calcium stone. That's
okay. So hearing all the nerd talk, this I even want to ask this question even more now. So where is this geared towards? Are you gearing towards more guys in college already, getting ready to like maybe get into the pro space? Are you working with kids or high schoolers?
A lot of the high schoolers, not as much, because they can get so much done without specificity of that degree. Okay. Like I don't know what you're going to be in 6 years as a high schooler. So you can make a lot of progress just playing basketball and having fun. What I like to work with is I have someone come to me and they say, hey, if you extend my career by 1.5 years, I make $4 extra million.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're talking about a very large return on investment.
Yeah.
And that's where I personally would really love to dive into is I love player development, but I love the economic analytics of player development.
Yeah.
An example would be if I think a certain player is undervalued because either the appraisal of them, people think, oh, that person's not very good, but they are actually very good. Or maybe they lack a skill that's easily developed, like a jump shot.
Yeah.
Someone could have said, oh, Brook Lopez is never going to be a good big in modern NBA. Yeah. Someone also might have said, I've seen Brook Lopez shoot. I know we can work on his jump shot. That guy is undervalued.
Yeah.
Right. And so I can sign him to maybe at the time, well, he was always an all-star. He was very good before that, but pretending to be someone like Brook Lopez, a 3-year, $9 million contract is $3 a year. But reality, he's producing a $10 million a year player. So now I have a value out of $21 million from an economic standpoint because I know how to develop his jump shot. And so if I understand the science of player development, I can understand then the appraisal process of how difficult it is to develop something. And then I can get a financial player return on that. So they can play more, they can make more money, and we get them for cheap. And so I take that same mindset in terms of individuals. What's your skill set? What do teams value you as? What are undervalued properties? What are easily accrued assets you can have that would raise your value? An example would be someone who maybe shoots the ball really well and plays great defense. Their next step is not to work on the pick and roll. Their next step is to simply make a good drive out of closeout and read and pass. And a player might spend a lot of time, oh, my next step is a PNR. No, your next step is a DHO where you're going downhill because someone jumped you and you got to make either a skip pass with your left hand, a throwback, or a dump off pass.
How would players figure that out? Say if someone like myself has had issues in the past trying to model my game, not really model my game, but make it more efficient, make it right for the situation I'm in right now for the pro level and stuff like that. For all intents and purposes, I'm a scorer. Like I'm supposed to put the ball in the basket. That's the only reason you pay me. So I'm trying to figure out a different way to put the ball in the basket besides just putting my head down and get into the basket and stuff like that. What's the next stage of trying to expand your game?
We'll do this live. It's a conversation I have with an athlete. It's a great question. You know the answer probably. We're going to work to figure that out. So basically, I would sit down with you and say, if we drew a big pie chart, right, and we say the percentage of your points come from what would you tell me?
Getting downhill free throws.
Getting downhill free throws, okay. And how do you get those? Are you a stride stop guy? Are you a Euro step guy? Are you...
Euro step and stride stop, for sure.
Okay.
And pump fakes.
And then when someone takes that away, what's your current option?
Step back.
Step back. And do you shoot that well?
Yes.
Very well.
Yes.
Okay. And so are there certain things within that realm that you could shoot better? So what I'm trying to get at, maybe on podcast, you're not going to be like the most, I totally get it too. You can edit this part out if you want. Like the reality is like, I'm not trying to put you off on blast.
Oh, you're good.
Is like being as horribly objective as possible. For me, I can't fucking guard a brick wall. Like that would be my downfall. With certain players I've worked with, it's like, okay, I can't finish my left hand. Cool. Do you ever need to? No, they're not going to fucking work on it. Well, I had an athlete once. He was working on a left-hand runner. And I said, when the fuck would you shoot that? And he goes, I might. I said, you don't make it. I hope you don't shoot it. Don't shoot that shot. Why are you going to shoot that shot? And so what we often ask is like, what are you really good at? Oh, you can get downhill and score. Great. Why don't you do it every time? Okay, well, I actually don't do well against someone who's rangier or someone who presses me or someone who's in my left hand. Wonderful. Let's get really good at that. Because the minute I can be as objective and honest as possible with why I'm not good at something, I can work on it. I always tell my athletes, if I think I'm good at everything and I'm not where I want to be, I'm just up creek without a paddle. Because how do I get better? If I want to know what I'm bad at, the best advice I can give from someone is figure out what you're bad at. Because if you know what you're good at, cool, do it. If you know what you're because if you look at every player, there's basically one or two rate limiting factors that affect them to taking the next jump. A lot of people think it's like, I need like 7. No. If you could just shoot a sidestep left and a sidestep right at a 40% clip, and then you could hezzy and push off of that, maybe that's the answer. And so it's just being really annoyingly like honest. Because I will never cut you a check no matter how well you play and how good you think you are to me. Right. And so I always say that I'm your Google search engine. You should go to me and say, like in the dark of the night, how do I work on my left hand? Like, you know what I mean? What is the thing that you need to work on that you won't tell anyone else you need to work on, but you know deep down you need to work on it?
Damn.
And that's when we sit down and say, okay, can you not do it physically or can you do it physically? If you cannot do it physically, that's a physiological limitation. So that's called like biomotor capabilities. There's a constraint. If you can't run and stop because you can't stop, well, you can't run and stop and shoot a jump shot. Like your acceleration and decel is not there. So we got to work on your deceleration. That's a physiological limitation. If I can do it, but I can't express it, that's a technical limitation. I don't know how to gather my hands in the right position. I can sprint, I can get there. Technically, I can't do it. Or I can do it. I do it, but in games I don't. Okay, that is an observational aspect, as in I don't realize when I'm open. And so the more we can define that, then I put down a profile and say, cool, we're working on your off the screen move.
Yeah.
You need to work on your lateral deceleration. We're going to sprint and we're going to stop and we're going to play games that work on that. So in the weight room, we'll do deceleration work. We'll do certain sprint work and stop so you can get fast enough.
Yeah.
So you can stop and then shoot that rock like you want to. Because now you can sprint and stop. Now you can work on the technical aspect of making it at that speed. And so when we sit down with a player, like especially in like a candid setting, I've been there. We all got egos. We all want to say we're really good.
Yes.
And then I ask, are you where you want to be? And everyone says no. And it's like, okay, well, we're not good enough then.
Yes.
And so then we also want to figure out, okay, cool. Because I think nothing less of you if you can't do something. It doesn't make, you get paid, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, all I want to do is I want to make you the best you can possibly be. And if you're telling me you're eating healthy, but you know you're eating hamburgers every night, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
and so we always sit down like, what do we think? We want to just give us the highest probability to achieve success. We can't guarantee success, but I can guarantee you're guaranteed to fail. I just want to guarantee you're not guaranteed to fail. That's the only thing I want. So we want to increase the probability of our success because success is based on how good we are, but also how good someone thinks we are. A coach has to play us because they think we're good enough. I can be good enough. If a coach doesn't think I'm good enough, I don't get on the court. That's just the reality. So what does that mean? So sometimes I have players who they say, oh, you don't play good defense. Well, why? Oh, because you get blown by. Don't get blown by. Whatever you do, do not get blown by. I don't care what you do, because if you don't get blown by and they make a fadeaway and the coach says that's a tough shot, not bad defense, even though both are 2 points.
Yes.
And there's no difference on the scores. One will say, oh, that's good defense, tough shots. So we always say defensively, we want to have tough shots made against us. And we never want to give anything easy. We don't want to give them a chance to say we can't play defense. And then if that's a limiting factor. Sometimes it's like they think we can't play defense because we're not aggressive enough. Pick up a foul. Be really active. Be Jose Alvarado out there, just crazy out there. And then, oh, he plays good defense because perception, he might be a great defender, but the coach needs to perceive you as a defender to actually let you do it. And so like having excessive confidence to shoot certain shots, the coach doesn't get a bat an eye. And they're like, oh, I guess that's his shot. Let that thing go.
Yeah.
And so that's how we sit down and start to break down player development. And we just really fine tune, especially as a pro, there's only gonna be 1 to 3 things that are limiting you. In your head, you're gonna watch Darius Garland play. You're gonna watch Kyrie Irving play, Kawhi Leonard play. You go, oh, let's do this, let's do that. Do your moves.
Yeah.
What are your moves? Let's watch them. Because guess what? If you can go right and shoot a pull-up, do that till they stop it. And just do it every possession. Don't even make a head. Just keep doing it. Dare them.
That is definitely I would not say it's a problem of mine. The whole like if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of deal. You can't stop me doing this. Why would I change it up? Like for some reason, in my brain, I always feel like I got to do something different instead of just doing the thing that works every freaking time. It's overcomplicating the game a lot of the times for me. That's really my issue, keeping it simple and all that good stuff. So I definitely understand that shit. It's just off of what we're doing today and the workouts we're doing today. And we said it on the court. Like you're shooting the same shots. Like make or miss. The shot looked exactly the same. You were confident shooting it every single time, and the ones that you missed were just as irritating as the ones you made because it looked on point, looked on target, and you're willing to shoot that shit like so much. I'm like, yo, bro, like I'm right here. Why are you still shooting that? Like I'm right here in front of you. Why are you still shooting this? Then the next, you know, three of them will go in, and then next to the game's over. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I understand that now. Like you got to be confident in the shots that you're really good at, or the stuff that you work on, and all that good shit.
And the other thing we often ask, which is a really hard question you got to ask yourself, is the hardest question probably as an athlete you got to ask yourself, is how much time do I waste? Right? If it's just reps, we've all put lots of reps in.
Yeah.
It can't be just reps. We have to ask ourselves, if I go out there and make 8 out of 10, am I wasting my time? How much time do we waste? And what things do we do that actually give us a return on our efforts?
Yes.
And the more we can think about that and understand that, the better we can perform. A lot of athletes associate effort with efficiency and effectiveness.
Yeah.
Effort does not equal effectiveness. Effort equals effort. You can go out there and you can shoot 1,000 shots. And I met kids do this and still suck. Okay. And you can have J.R. Smith who rolls the ball out there. I've heard stories.
Oh, man.
I've heard stories of him rolling the ball out there and just bombing on people. And then so you say, take 1,000 shots, you won't go ahead. I'm going to make them on you. It don't matter. Right. And so And so we got to ask, what does it mean to use our time valuably? And if you have the juxtaposition of the overly analytical 1,000 shots and the guy who's just a hooper, well, then we can at least say shooting 1,000 shots doesn't guarantee this. Okay, what other factors are involved? Is it speed of shot? Is it feeling of shot? That's a big thing I tell the guys I work with. Just feels okay. That's fine. But you need to feel your shots. And then you need to be able to understand, like, it's not about makes or misses. You're not going to make every shot. You're going to miss a lot of shots. And we want to miss shots in training because we got to get better at shots. We don't want to shoot 8 out of 10. Who cares if you make 8 out of 10? I've never made 8 out of 10 in a game. If I make 8 out of 10, who's guarding me? Like, unless I'm just shooting layups, like, I'm not really sure what kind of defense is letting me get 10 clean looks at the 3-point line unless I don't know what they're playing. A zone, maybe? Like, some horrible zone. So I always encourage, like, really consider how much time you waste and just sit down and think about it. And when you do a workout, you might feel good about the workout, but does that really matter? Does the feel, we do things like we end on a miss. End on a miss. Deal with it. Leave the gym and be a psycho. Who cares if you miss a shot? When people are like, I got ended on a make. Why? I've ended a lot of games on misses. I probably ended more games on misses than makes. And the reality is it's not about a make or miss. I'm shooting that thing every time. And whether you got to block it to stop it, right? And so that's like the mentality we have is like, if you're good at something and you want to be good at that something, just hang your hat on that. And then from the development side, where am I wasting time? How can I get better? And how can I have the potential to increase the probability of my effectiveness? And that's all I can ask for because it gives me a better chance. I cannot outwork the competition. That's a lie. You just can't. I can work all I want. All I want. And J.R. Smith, well, I think J.R. Smith because I love him just chucking threes. But just, pick your favorite NBA, like, oh, be better than me. And so it's not reps, it's something else. And so that's what we try and think about.
I'm happy we're getting into this aspect because the major reason I wanted to come out here is to, for one, show you that you have support from people who aren't just like, in your area and stuff like that.
I appreciate that because honestly, the coolest thing for all you assholes out there is every pro hooper I've met has like the most respect for what I'm trying to do. And I was like, that's like the kind, I was telling you that, Max, like that's like the coolest thing because I'm trying to do something and it's like the people who I'm trying to be like respect it. And so that gives me at least a reassurance I'm treating the thing respectfully. So I thank you.
So I've been reading the comments for a while, and guys don't think, because how I got introduced to you is a better way for me to start this, is the algorithm showed me your profile once you started doing the trying to get to the pro level, using yourself as an example of trying to make somebody, your regular dad, 30 at the time, 31-year-old dad,
young, spry at the time,
trying to make it pro. And I think that, and you just mentioned in one of your videos, like, there's different levels of pro, okay? And for one, this. Like, to say that you're not a pro level or whatever is wild. Because you if you really wanted to.
I appreciate that. I'll take that.
So, because we were talking about it earlier, it's not necessarily just about, because if you want the title of being a pro, you could have just took a contract in, fucking, I don't know, Timbuktu or some shit. I don't know. But like, it's the, for one, it has to be right for you and your family, all that good stuff. It's not just about just saying I'm a pro and all that good stuff. You're 32, and it has to make sense. But in terms of skill and applicable, like basketball skill, you're a pro. Like you can do things on a pro level, especially shooting the ball. Like there's a couple shots today that I played against guys who make millions of dollars or not making or shooting the type of shots you're shooting. So to say that you're trying to be a pro, I think is laughable. It's just you're trying to be, you're more so trying to be like an NBA pro or like a high level pro. That's what he's trying to be, guys.
I was trying to be good enough that they said, "Hey, where's your footage?" And I said, "I don't have any since I've had hair." And they look at me sideways and they're like, "Yo, that's not even you in the court." That's the hardest thing, was getting footage.
Yeah.
Every team would ask, and I'm like, yeah, about that. It's been 10 years.
Trust me. I know all about the footage. The footage of part being a pro is so important. I took a year off, just a year.
Oh my gosh, I know horror stories about that.
Just a year, and I literally didn't get another job for a year and a half after that. Like it's really extremely tough to get a job if you're playing professionally. You sit, and if you don't have some even if you're a Division I pro with like accolades and shit, like you sit a year, teams are not.
They think something's wrong.
Something's wrong. Something you're injured. You haven't been hooping for a whole year. Thinking about to get a whack job coming in. So that's a big part of it. But in terms of skill, I seen enough today. Okay,
I appreciate that.
I seen enough today. I hoop against guys who literally get paid millions of dollars. 1v1. Shout out to my guy Emmanuel. I be whooping you too, Emmanuel. I swear to God, I be whooping him. I just played against Thad the other day. 16-year events, guys, and stuff like that. I'm competing with these guys. I fucking was gassed today. Really trying to guard you. Really playing basketball today. So yeah, this is legit. So with that being said, how often do you work with talented players that per se are even good enough for the NBA or whatnot, or just a TUF bucket?
TUF Buckets. Oh yeah.
In general, like how often are you dealing with these type of players who probably don't get the type of recognition they deserve, be it coming from a small school, things like that, but they're really high caliber individual, high caliber players. How often do you think you write to players like that?
Well, personally, for me working with them, there's a handful of guys who I work with right now who are not like in like a top times here. There's two of them, particular. Both are very good, and they're finding their paths along the way. Because anyone knows as a professional, especially when you start going overseas, it's just like it's literally like a corporate job.
Yeah.
You just keep working and like leveling up, and you go to the next spot. You go to the next spot. So I'm sure they'll get their opportunities. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is at any level, if you're required to do something at a level where they pay you, you're at a level that is beyond, like multiple levels beyond what the average person has encountered. And what I mean by that is you'll play someone, and people are 24-hour fitness are at fault for this all the time. Oh, I could beat that guy one-on-one. And that guy who's a pro has no interest in scoring one-on-one.
Yeah.
He's not a one-on-one scorer, right? And so like he's a point guard, and that guy can orchestrate an offense like nobody's business. And people get confused, like, oh, like he's not getting any buckets out here. I'm like, yeah, but no one's really setting a ball screen either. And like that's not really how the game is played.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the biggest things that people see on social media is they see points and blocks. Like that's basically like that, the defense, the block, and maybe a dunk, and I guess a 3-pointer, like all they see. Versus when you play a pro, and maybe it's exactly the answer I'll give is a different one. Is like when you play someone, it's the physicality.
Yeah.
Like I knew you could, the minute you start grabbing my arms, it's like, oh, this song and dance again. I don't want to deal with this guy. Good Lord, I hate this. Forgot, I don't get that in pickup. You know what I mean? Like no one's pulling my inside arm and yanking me across the court or whatever. Like stride, stop bumping. And I was like, okay. This is gonna be annoying to guard.
He legitimately called my game out before we started playing. I did my research. You're a stride stop, long stop guy. Yeah. I'm like, oh damn.
Okay. No, I didn't say that. So I don't like guarding that. I hate this matchup. These are the type of guys I don't like to guard. I like to guard someone who's fast because then I know if I can just get them to stop, I got a chance. With you, you're like always stopped, but you're going. It's like, gosh, just stop moving. Like, calm down. Stop taking long ass strides.
That is a part of the game, man. Long strides.
Yeah, super low. There's like some clips. He's like, your elbows at your shoulders on my hips. I'm like, dude, I hate that because you make me get. I don't practice guarding that. When I get that, like, I forget how low I have to get on defense. I gotta get under your elbows, and so on defense, like, I guard you. And this bad hat. Like, this is why pros are pros, by the way, because they'll guard him one time. Like, oh, I gotta guard him like this. For me, I don't play against enough pros. It's like stupid. Like. With you, I should have gone lower and NCU earlier. And just, if you're going to shoot 30 footers on me, I live. Like, I had to pick a poison. Whereas I kept letting you get to certain spots. And it's like, gosh darn it. Like, you're stupid. What are you doing? Like, don't let him get there.
Same. Same. I was feeling the same way. But with yours, is you didn't have to be facing the fucking rim. Which is fucking wild, by the way. I cannot wait he posted something already. I can't wait for you guys to see these goddamn clips. I want you guys to see the bullshit I was dealing with today. All right, it's fucking ridiculous.
I'm a weird shooter. I'll be first to admit it's a weird footwork. It
really is a footwork.
Like a hold.
I was trying to tell Max, and I said it several times today. To be able to stop when you're doing it fast pace and getting to a jump stop pull up jumper. Takes so much upper body strength and coordination and balance to be able to get the ball on point straight, let alone get it to the rim. I'm like, and you're making those like pull-ups. I'm like, yeah, this is This is not right. This is not okay. It's not fair. It's like, it's not one of those things that I'm prepared. You can't practice that. You can't practice against that.
I mean, and you play good defense. I mean, you shouldn't jump at it. Like, I'll be if I was coaching someone, I'd be like, yeah, whatever.
I was telling that, but I'm up by myself on an island, so it's like
tough. One-on-one's really tough.
It's one of those things. Like, if I know I got somebody behind there, then of course I'm a sell out. I'm a sell out and make you have to do something towards the rim. I'm a sell out, fucking, because this is not it for me. But with a live dribble and guys, I don't know if you guys been paying attention, but my guy can dribble the ball a little bit now.
I got a little.
He got a little something on him now. He got me with the hezzy. I can't wait till you post that. Post that one. That's the one I really want to see. The handle is definitely better than anticipated. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more shaky. That he definitely got a little wiggle to him. Don't let him lie to you guys on the Instagram. He did. That's another thing, guys. He wants you guys to think he's not good at basketball. He wants you guys to think that he's just some regular guy. He is a elite basketball player. He just wants you guys to think that. I get it now. I see the game. See the game. It is what it is. You hype yourself. Not hype yourself. You psych yourself out so everybody can hype you up. I get it. Yeah.
Well, you asked me that, and you're like, "Well, you don't talk any trash." And I said, and I mentioned it to my wife when I got on the phone. It's like, "Hey, I don't talk any trash." I'm like, "Yeah, because like AJ would just bury me." like I can't talk any trash because I play guys and they just bury me. Not like. And you'd have a better chance than me at guarding them because of the length and size. I don't have a big. It's just like I'm physically not capable of guarding these guys, and it's just so belittling that I've removed all trash talk in my life simply due to the fact that like if I talk trash, I just feel like I'm gonna get a call from him. He's like, "I'm coming down." I played on ones once, and I lost 25-0. We didn't make it take. He scored 20. He did 5 in a row on every 5 spots. It was like middies. I'm like, this is so stupid. Miss one.
We were talking about what's his name again?
AJ Green.
We're talking about AJ Green, and a lot of guys are gonna hear the name. They're not gonna know who it is. Basketball knowers know who AJ Green is. Just off of this one clip, I'm gonna post it right now. Because I'm good at that. I'm gonna edit this into the video of him hitting this pull-up jumper off of Wemby, or not pull-up, just this jab step. I'm gonna rise over you 3-pointer on Wemby. Everybody should remember this play. But yeah, super sniper. And what you were telling me about him today, obviously, I need to go look up his college highlights because apparently he was him.
That guy can go.
Apparently he was him. I want to know, because we were talking about it earlier today, if you can talk about it, about working with Kate and being in this area, because you're telling me about her stardom out here and stuff like that.
I mean, she's awesome, man. Like all the athletes, one thing I work with, all the athletes I work with have been awesome. Yeah. So like I originally worked with one of my first major basketball guys was Reed Travis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Reed's like a brother. Went to his wedding. Yeah. And he played at Kentucky and Stanford and stuff. And every single person I've worked with has just been the nicest human, which has been so cool to see. And they always very supportive of me. Yeah. And then I got connected with Kate this past, and this is not summer, but whatever their off season. Yeah. I always call it summer because that's when the NBA's off season. It's not summer, it's winter. And of course, people who know in the Iowa area, Iowa women's basketball back-to-back NCAA championship appearances, like just one of the best women's teams to ever come out of the greater Midwest area, I'd imagine. Playing with Caitlin Clark, who's, absolutely ridiculous. She obviously had like a big support base here, and Iowa loves their athletes. There's no pro team here, so it's Iowa football. George Kittle would come back, and I'm sure everybody would know who George Kittle is here between the Mississippi and Omaha. Yeah. And so they love it, and working with her has been awesome because, like I said, I can't say it enough. Like these athletes just want to get better. Yeah. And they're so open to it. And that almost by definition requires like some level of kindness, because you have to be thoughtful enough to get better. Yeah. And like be open to like, maybe I'm not good enough, to the fact that you're thoughtful enough to like take the time to talk to people. Like all the athletes, as like I said, every single one I've been with, taking pictures with people, whether it's like even like if it's in workouts, like a kid who's trying to like, they're leaving, they'll like stop the workout and go take a picture. Just like the nicest humans. And I think that's not always known, which is important to say, because I think a lot of people see athletes and a lot of kids who want to emulate athletes, cool. They want to be cool. I don't talk to you. They talk down about other people. You see a lot in high school, right? It's too cool. Every pro athlete I've known then there's like the nicest person, right? And especially even like the better ones or the more like popular ones,
Yeah.
especially in the area, just horribly nice. And I wish a lot of kids could see that.
Yeah.
Because when you're nice to people, people will help you. And if you're mean to someone, like they're not gonna want to help you. It's not like somehow it is my gift to work with you.
Yeah.
Working with you is a gift for me. It's just we both have professions, and you want to get better at one thing, and I'm good at another, and we're gonna work together as a team.
Yeah.
And so, like working with her or anybody I've worked with, like it's just like Will Carius is from the area. He's playing in Austria and hooping, and like people from the area all know him. And everyone's just super. The players are supportive, and people are nice around here, which is why I love this area too. So like working with her has been great because she's kind of a big deal in the area.
Yeah.
And so it's been really awesome to see like taking the time to talk to everybody. And as a person, for me, like I'm kind of a quiet, shy, reserved person in all reality. And it's like, oh wow, that's really cool. You get to connect with people. I look at it and like it makes me want to make sure I spend more time doing things to say, you know, if anyone stops me, like just learning from them. You always ask like great questions, like like very endearing and caring about what they say. And I'm like, oh, actually, I wish I was nicer. Like, I need to learn from these people. And so
people skills, we talk about this all the time. It's just like being a dope person to other people takes you a long way in life. Like whether you want to believe it or not, being an asshole is not getting you nowhere.
No,
not even if you're good at your sport. It's like it doesn't matter. You should be a good person. But a couple more questions for you, big dog. I'm gonna let you get out to these cornfields. You know, I know you got a whole lot of stuff going on today. You know, maybe a Costco trip here or there or something.
I need to go today. I do. As a matter of fact, which is kind of correct. There's shipments coming on Tuesdays. Today's Tuesday. I need some milk, low on eggs. Eggs are actually a good price at Costco still. They're not, they're not bad.
Egg prices are ridiculous out in Dallas.
$8 for 24.
What?
Yeah, they had the big ones there. It's
That's
like
a good ass price.
It is good. It was if they had like the full ones there, they're only $3 a dozen still. $3.50 a dozen.
I'm paying like $10.
I know. I was gonna send a picture of all my eggs and post on Instagram and say, if I win the lottery, I won't tell no one, but you'll see signs, baby.
Facts. Dude, I hate grocery shopping for groceries these days. Eating healthy and trying to be on budget is two different things.
Yeah.
If you ain't got the finances for it.
I eat a lot of rice.
I noticed that. I definitely noticed that the fried rice breakfasts and stuff like that.
I haven't made as fried as much because now I'm making breakfast for the family every morning. I don't have the time. Before, the little one would wake up really early, so I had to kill like 40 minutes. So I'd make like a fried rice pancake because it was like I could. Like, I don't know what else to do. I'm awake for the next 45 minutes. But now he's sleeping a little more, so I just microwave it. It's not as exciting. Fried eggs, yes.
So what do we have going on? What's next for the most famous 32-year-old dad in Iowa? What do we got going on?
This is really cool. I hope I always encourage everybody. This is my 2 cents on that. I look at the camera. Yeah. For you guys. Leverage every opportunity into something more. I don't mean leverage in terms of like a loan, you hold it against someone, but using a situation not as a finite situation, but as a stepping stone to something. So hopefully doing this, someone else will see it and they'll want to come out. Yeah. I'll have lots of clips from it. So at a minimum, I can post it. I have a league starting here, which is pretty cool that I want to showcase the Quad Cities. And it's not my league, but showing the basketball here is really cool because in the summer, hopefully we have like 16 total pros in the area. They can come back. We can get a pro-am going. We're 2 hours from Chicago. Yeah. An hour and a half from Iowa City. People should want to come. I want to bring a little more energy to this area in terms of basketball. And then I'd love to do my So You Think You Can Hoop tour, which would be involving me going to play different programs around the country in different tournaments. If you're out there, you want me in a tournament, let me know. Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm a bad teammate because I take tough shots, which is like the most annoying thing ever because I'm very supportive of people. They just, like, I'm playing one-on-one, you make good moves. I'm like, ooh, tough shot. High five you on defense. You blocked me. And I'm like, good defense. That's a good defense, good hands. And so I want to go play and do that kind of stuff. The pro stuff has really dwindled in opportunity just due to timing in life. The opportunity was last year. I probably made a miscalculation due to how long the TBT went. Yeah. It was a wonderful opportunity. It just went 2 to 3 weeks. I honestly thought we were like, I didn't know. I'm glad we did win games. Everline Drive. Guys, don't get mad at me. I thought for sure, but a lot of times you just lose in 2 games, right? we kept winning and winning and winning.
Yeah, it's just
and
and granted, I was waiting for him to put you into that because they're winning, they're fucking winning. He's gonna get the fucking play.
I realized that the Elam Indy never gave me a chance, and honestly, I was good, wasn't as good as I am now.
Yeah,
and so like I would play again this year. I talked to the guys like they have a good team, and like I don't know if I could crack their roster. But I could play in that tournament.
Yes, for sure.
As of right now, I feel like earlier. I didn't have the handles really. I was really focused on movement shooting because the window was so small. It was like 2 months. I was like, well, if I could provide value to the TBT team, it would only be through movement shooting. Like, I'm not going to get there and size you up. I need like 8 months to work on that. And so when that ended, I started training that whole capacity.
Yeah.
So all those moves, I didn't have any of that going to the TBT. That was all after TBT. I've never been a size up player.
That's dope.
I just called a guy named Kyle Lamont. Kyle is an all-time scorer. He's just like professional scorer, played, I don't know, 15 years overseas. Just his job was to score. And I said, I want to play you one-on-one every day. And I didn't document it like I should have. It's like 3 weeks straight. I just showed up and Kyle would just beat me. 8 spots and beat me over and over. I'll just show up and he just beat me again. He's a professional scorer. And I would just watch him and learn all his moves. I'd videotape every game. And I would just keep trying new moves and new moves. And Kyle looks at me, he's like, you're absolutely insane. And I'm like, I am. Yes, you're crazy. You keep showing up and getting beat. And by the end, we're kind of exchanging even hands. And like, I'm getting some buckets here and buckets there. But I just need to do it over against a pro. Yeah. So like, there's no worry about wins or losses. I don't care. I just want to see it. Because if I do it against the guys who I'm much better than, I'm just going to resort to like taking one dribble pull-up.
The shots that you already know.
Yeah, that's fine.
We were talking about earlier.
And so when I'm with you, like it was a mix today because some of the times I was like, we did get a little tired, which we probably should have played one-on-one a little earlier. Our first like 3 games, I had more juice the last 3. Yeah. I was like, dying. But like I started to, some of the moves, I didn't want to try and shake because I was trying to beat you. Like, so like I kept it really compact. If we were playing for like skill dev, you would have seen a lot more like totally cool bouncing a ball off my foot. Totally cool taking like a wild sidestep just to be like, can I expose myself to that? And so like, it's hard for me not to do that sometimes because if I'm just playing for one's probability, I know I can shoot a dribble right pull up at a really high clip. I'm basically just gonna lift until I can go right. Versus like development is another way you would do it where it's like, I'm actually not going to shoot one dribble right pull up the whole time. I'm going to do like I played a guy the other day. Everything was left foot entries over and left foot. And just doing it live and knowing that that's how you're going to get better is like the move that I do is the success, not the make. And so like Kyle's a great opportunity for me to work on that. Yeah. And then I could really feel, okay, I'm not a wiggle guy, but this little hop lift is like something I can really play off of. Because I can shoot off of it. Yeah. I started doing that. I'm like, okay, how can I integrate that into different moves? So I kind of found what worked for me and then built everything kind of off of that.
Okay. So we talked about it. If the opportunity presents itself, you will take a G League.
Oh, yeah. I got asked to go. This was an interesting life point. So I had the opportunity to go try out to be a G League practice player. Mm-hmm. But I had committed to someone else's tournament to go play in. I was getting sponsored to play in the tournament. And the reality was, I was like, at the time I wasn't trying to play in the G League, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, it'd be great. Like, again, like I'm not getting any footage. Like I don't have any footage. I can't keep doing things that give me no footage.
Yeah, thanks.
And so I was like, this would be great. But the probability-wise, people always say, bet on yourself. No, make the right bet.
Shit, bars.
Like bars. Go bet on yourself and go try the G League. No, like I could go here. I'm gonna go play. I know I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna get millions of views, and it's gonna give me a chance to really build something. Or I can just put all my chips on the table, try for the G League team. Then I miss this tournament. No one sees I travel to play. They don't see my clips. I don't have hours of footage. So probability-wise, it's actually a higher likelihood I get a pro chance from going to this tournament and captivating an audience to get more interest. Yeah. And then doing that versus going to this G League tryout, which I have no guarantees. I have no agents. I hardly know anything. I'm going to show up, and they might say, And I was like, that sucked. You know what I mean? And a lot of people be like, you should have gone and make that bet. No. I'm not interested in betting. I'm interested in good odds. And so my odds, I know here, I'm going to get 5 games. One of them's going to be good.
Yeah.
If I play 5 games bad, I'll just hang them up. I shouldn't be doing this anyway. And so I'm going to go here and play. I'm going to go get some buckets. I have a camera guy's going to meet me. Then I'm going to get footage. And I have a plan to leverage that. And if I didn't do that, you wouldn't be here today.
110%.
It just wouldn't happen.
It's a
So
fact.
I would have fallen off, and I still use those clips to this day in my footage.
Yeah.
You go play 5 games, you got 9 years of clips.
I'm happy you said that, because what I want to ask, and we're getting to the end, we're landing right now, I promise you. I want what you think you could, if you could give, you already gave me advice, you gave me and Max a bunch of advice today on the whole social media front, but if there's somebody out there who's trying to get into the space, social media space, should I say, what words of advice you can give to anybody trying to make an impact?
Yeah, there's no such thing as getting into space. I think a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to get into space. You either do something that people want to watch or you don't. And that's okay if you don't. Not everyone has to be a creator.
Yeah.
But you probably, more times than not, have some hobby that connects with people. It's very rare that someone has nothing in common with anyone else. You probably have something in common, and you're probably an expert in an area.
Yeah.
Do you like Lord of the Rings? Do you like Pokemon? Do you like corn? Do you like tractors? You know what I mean? I don't care. There's a niche for everything.
Literally.
And so what people don't realize is that you can pursue something without having to create anything, but instead you're capturing something. And the more you capture the honest process of that to the best of your capabilities, the more sustainable it is, because you already do that thing, right? I'm already going to go work out to the gym.
Nah, for real.
I'm not planning what to film. People are like, what do you plan to film? I don't know.
No, for real.
My wife came and filmed me one day. She said, what are you doing today? I don't know. I'll see how my legs feel. She's like, how do you do that? Because I'm here to hoop.
Yeah.
And so I try to keep it as honest as possible and capture it. Now, if you're trying to sell something and make money on something, you can only really do that once you have an audience.
Yeah.
And so you're probably going to leverage something that is related to what you do. I sell a training program for people who want to get jacked and athletic. Why? Because I like to be jacked and athletic.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Yeah.
I know how to do it. People like it. It helps me play my basketball, which I also really enjoy. So I have a niche. And if you're looking to get started in something, just think about what you like. Capture it. You don't need to post the first one. And if you post the first one and no one watches it, no one saw your bad video. It fails quietly or succeeds loudly. And what people often do is they fall into the area of mimicry. Oh, this guy does something well. Let's be like him. Why? He already does something well. Don't do what he's doing. He has that genre on that audience. What do you do? Because odds are he doesn't do what you do. Oh, you traveled to Iowa. Film that whole thing. You're in Iowa. You met this guy. You don't know anything about Max. Talk about, hey, camera, I'm going to meet this guy who trains people. I'm in Iowa. I got no clue if he sucks or not. It's going to be fun. He seems like a cool dude. Could be an ass. Let's go meet him. And then being honest. He was a nice guy. Or like, he was an ass. And then that's fun and engaging. And it's easy for you to do. And then your audience doesn't have to want to be a part of it. They are already a part of it. There's no value prop in being like, you need to follow me because of this.
Yeah.
No, I'm taking you on a journey that you can't take because you're not me and I'm not you.
Yeah.
But you can come along with me and I'll share with you the ups and downs, and you guys might like it because guess what? We like people who do stuff. Humans, I love watching that guy who built some weird wood cabin in Ireland that doesn't run on electricity.
I know exactly what
And
you're
I'm
talking
sitting there, I'm like, wow, I know nothing about woodwork, but look at that curved cup he made. That coffee looks really good. You know what I mean? I don't know a lick about it. I'll be at home watching someone play Star Wars Battlefront. I'm too lazy to buy my own PS4, so I'm just watching some guy play Star Wars Battlefront. And I'm like, he's taking me along a journey what I can't do. You know what I mean? Like, I can't play Star Wars Battlefront because I don't have a PS4.
That's funny as hell.
I'm going to watch this guy play, and I hope he makes a couple bucks off of my views. And good for him. And guess what? I liked his video, so I'll watch the next one. I watch guys who I watch a guy who talks about Magic the Gathering. I don't even play Magic the Gathering. I don't have one Magic the Gathering card. Yeah. It's a card game. I just watch it, and I don't know why. I enjoy it because he talks about what he does. And so like I watch people open packs of cards.
Yeah.
Because I can't open a pack card, but hey, is he gonna get the auto? I don't want to spend $5,000, but he will. So I'll go along for the ride. And so people want to see something.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be told to do something. They want to be a part of something. And so I really try to keep it as honest as possible. And yeah, of course, I'll post some things that are funny and things I think are funny. But the reality is it's just me.
Yeah.
It's a camera.
Yeah.
And I always told my wife, I think it'd be fun to do, is like, film a day of me doing me, because people will realize how like it's just he's just doing it. He actually is just playing basketball.
I swear this is really what he does. Like there's no gimmicks here. Like there's no script at all.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, and I find that sustainable. I find it fun. I think people can enjoy it. And then when they see me, I don't have to act a certain type of way. And they're like, hey, dude,
yeah,
I was playing in Utah, the pro-am tournament there. A lot of guys knew me, but I got a message. Some guy goes, you're at my hotel, dude. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we were driving by. We're two former physical therapists, and I think we saw you leaving our hotel. Want to come down and say what's up? And I was like, sure. I came down, and they're like, yeah, dude, we love your stuff. We love when you're eating ice cream and stuff. We think it's hilarious.
That's dope, bro. That is dope.
And I was like, that's really cool. They're like, you're just kind of the same dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, kind of. It's easier, and I can't be someone fake.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not good enough at faking it. Like, I'm really bad at it. Like, so I'll just be me and just try and enjoy it, because, social media isn't horribly enjoyable at times. You go on there and you're only going to see people who are better than you. As a creator, you're only going to see better posts. You're only going to see content that's outdoing you.
Facts.
You're never going to be exposed to people lesser or not as successful. And so, not saying that seeing someone lesser means you're doing well. Just comparatively, you always think you're last in the race. You always feel that way. And your phone's on you, and you're checking the updates, you're checking the stories, you're checking this. This is worse than last time.
Analytics.
And all that stuff doesn't matter if you don't do what you can do to sustain. And then you kind of take your content that you do to sustain, and you might realize, oh, the 30-second works better than 40 seconds. That's not changing you. That's just changing how you present you in terms of the long or short form.
Yeah.
Like the same way someone might play Star Wars Battlefront, and they realize that their face on the top left is better on the top, I guess top left, better on the top right.
Yeah.
They didn't change the fact who they are. They just made it easier for me as someone who wants to go along for the ride to enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents or 5 cents, 9 cents, 10 cents,
nah, man.
$1.50.
Definitely answered all the questions I need. Max, you got any questions, big dog? You straight? Max, I appreciate you, bro. This has been a dope experience for me and my guy, the other Max. Well, both of you guys are that's shorter Max. Shorter Max. Damn!
That's Zacharific Max. You know that, the guy on the TikTok guy?
Zacharific? Who?
His name's Zacharific. He always makes those like little funny bits. I'll show you guys after.
Please show us.
He's got a hair like you. You know who I'm talking about? I don't always have this hair. Well, it's beautiful.
We just talked about it. He does not get haircuts. He does not get. He hasn't had a haircut all year. Yeah. All right, Max, man. This has been dope, bro. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate the information. I'm gonna get better, for sure after this. Hopefully in the future we can do something similar again. I know you're doing the tour. I'll try to be on the lookout for Dallas stuff for you. I would love for you to come out to Dallas and show these Dallas guys how to shoot the ball. This won't be the last time you see me, Max. I promise you that. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna collab again.
Famous YMCA in Bettendorf. Please come back and pay to visit. It's great. It's a great YMCA, man.
The most famous YMCA in Iowa for sure. But that is it, y'all. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I got to keep telling you that. Go like, go comment, and go subscribe in that order. All right? Do all those things. We appreciate you over here at TUF Buckets. Until next time, it's your boy, Deuces. And that's it.